hope they'll get a better idea of who he was as a person, not just
Andre the Giant's daughter, the unexpected legacy that surprised everyone. You won't believe this. Andre the Giant, the man who towered over the wrestling world and captured hearts on and off screen, had a daughter who not only inherited his strength, but may have surpassed him in ways you'd never expect. Ever wonder what it's like to grow up in the shadow of a literal giant? This story isn't just about size, it's about legacy, love, loneliness, and finding your own path when the world already expects you to fill massive shoes. Let's rewind. Andre René Roussimoff was born in 1946 in a tiny French village. From day one, he was different. Most babies show up weighing around 7 pounds. Andre, a whopping 13 pounds. His parents probably thought they'd birthed a future rugby player, but that was just the beginning. By age 12, he was already over 6 feet tall. By 14, he was 6'6" and growing. Nobody in his family came close, though there were whispers about a tall grandfather. Doctors didn't have the answers back then. The word acromegaly wasn't thrown around much in rural France. People just chalked it up to, he's a big kid. But behind that quiet, towering frame was a kind-hearted teen who loved to laugh and help his neighbors. In fact, one of those neighbors was Samuel Beckett. Yep, the famous playwright, who would give Andre rides to school in his truck because he couldn't fit on the school bus. Eventually, Andre dropped out of school to work on the farm full-time. He never complained. He worked like 3 men and never asked for special treatment. But something inside him craved more than dirt roads and livestock. He wanted a bigger life, so he left the countryside and went to Paris. In the city, his size drew attention everywhere he went. He worked moving furniture, easy for someone who could lift a couch like it was a pillow, and soon got noticed by wrestling promoters. He started wrestling under the name Jean Ferret and was billed as a gentle giant. That smile? It could light up an arena. His matches in France were just the beginning. Word spread. Japan, Canada, America. People couldn't get enough of the massive man with the kind face. Eventually, he caught the eye of Vince McMahon Sr., who gave him the name that would echo forever, Andre the Giant. But here's where it gets smart. Andre wasn't just put into the weekly grind. Nope. He became a special attraction, showing up rarely so every appearance felt like an event. And it worked. He was soon wrestling up to 300 times a year all around the globe. It was grueling, but Andre kept going. Behind the scenes, though, it wasn't all cheers and fanfare. His size made daily life a challenge. Airplanes? Torture. Hotel beds? Too small. Restaurants? Always full of stares and whispers. And then came the pain. His joints, his back, his bones. Everything hurt, and it was only getting worse. But you'd never know it watching him perform. He kept that pain tucked behind a smile. In 1987, he had his most iconic moment at WrestleMania 3. Over 93,000 fans watched as Hulk Hogan body-slammed Andre in a move that's still replayed today. That slam? Legendary. What fans didn't see was how much pain Andre was in. Just walking to the ring was a struggle. But he showed up, took the slam, and helped pass the torch to a new generation. That's the kind of man he was. And then came The Princess Bride. If you haven't seen it, you're missing out. Andre played Fezzik, the lovable, rhyme-speaking giant. The role was written with him in mind, and despite the language barrier and physical pain, he nailed it. Couldn't catch the princess without a special rig? Didn't matter. His charm shone through. That movie made him a household name beyond the wrestling world. He even carried the VHS with him and showed it to people like a proud dad. That was his favorite role. Speaking of being a dad, let's talk about Robin Christensen Roussimoff, Andre's only daughter. Here's where the story takes a turn. Robin was born in 1979 to Andre and Jean Christensen. Jean was a wrestling publicist and model, tall like Andre, and they had a complicated off-and-on relationship. While Andre acknowledged Robin as his child, he was barely around. Not by choice, entirely. He was on the road non-stop. Some years he had over 300 matches. That's a brutal schedule. But the result? Robin only met her father about 5 times. Growing up, Robin knew who her dad was. Who didn't? But their bond never had the chance to grow. Calls were rare. Visits even rarer. When Andre passed away in 1993, Robin didn't even hear about it from family. A lawyer called her weeks later. No goodbye. No closure. That loss hit hard. But Robin didn't disappear into her father's shadow. She's tall, strong, and shares his bold presence. But she chose her own road. She tried wrestling for a bit, but quickly realized it wasn't her path. Instead, she found her calling in storytelling. Robin worked on documentaries about her father, Closer to Heaven and HBO's Andre the Giant, where she pushed for honesty, no sugarcoating. She wanted people to see the real Andre, the man behind the myth, the pain, the humor, the loneliness, the humanity. Today she lives a quiet life in Seattle. You won't see her chasing fame. When she shows up at conventions or gives interviews, it's because she believes in protecting her father's legacy, not because she's chasing the spotlight. She's smart, independent, and unafraid to speak the truth, even if it means sharing the tough parts of growing up as Andre the Giant's daughter. So yeah, she might not be in the ring. She might not be 7 feet tall. But in a different way, Robin Christensen Rusimov has become larger than life by carrying her father's story with grace, truth, and strength. If you found this story moving, surprising, or just plain fascinating, go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe if you want more behind-the-scenes stories like this. And hey, anybody want a peanut?